All right. So today we're diving into a super practical guide for any business that's looking to tap into one of the fastest growing digital economies on the planet, Bangladesh. Let's get right into it. First things first, let's just start with a number that kind of sets the stage. As of early 2024, we're talking 82.8 million internet users in Bangladesh. Now, that's not just some statistic. That is a massive, connected audience just waiting to find out about you. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? In a market this huge and this dynamic, how can your business actually cut through all the noise and connect with these people? Well, that is exactly what we are here to figure out. We've got a really clear roadmap laid out. We're going to start with the why, the sheer scale of this digital boom. Then we'll get into the modern advantages of going digital, the tools you're going to need, a super practical 9-step plan you can actually use, and finally, some insider secrets for local success. Okay, let's start with the big picture. You have to understand the scale of what's happening in Bangladesh to really see the opportunity. I mean, it's not just growing, it's exploding, and in a very specific mobile-first way. So what's so interesting here is the story these numbers tell. Okay, you've got your 82.8 million internet users, great. But look at the mobile connections, 186 million. That is way more connections than there are people. This isn't just a market that uses mobile, it's a market that lives on mobile. And that makes a mobile-first strategy completely non-negotiable. So, we know the audience is online, and we know they're on their phones. What does that actually mean for your marketing? Well, we're talking about a fundamental shift away from old-school advertising and into this powerful, data-driven world of digital. At its heart, this is what it's all about. It's not just about, posting something online. It's a whole system. You're using digital channels to find the right people, show them what you've got, turn them into customers, and this is the crucial part. Measure everything as it happens. And this slide just perfectly sums up the difference. Think about traditional marketing, like a billboard. It's kind of a shot in the dark, right? You can't really measure its direct impact. But digital, it's trackable, so you know exactly what's working. It's targetable, so you're only talking to the people who matter. And it's optimizable, which means you can tweak things and get better results week after week. So what does this actually do for your business, for your bottom line? Well, it means you get into markets way faster, whether that's in Dhaka or Dallas. It means it costs you less to get a real, qualified person interested. You get measurable return on investment. You can build trust with things like reviews and great content. And you can keep your customers coming back. These are real, tangible results. All right, to get those kinds of results, you need the right tools. I want you to think of this next part as building your digital workshop. It's the essential engine you need to really power your growth. Now, I know this looks like a long list, but let's just group these together. First, you need a home base. That's your website. Then you need ways for people to find you, right? That's search marketing. So SEO for organic search and SEM for paid ads. And, of course, social media. Then to handle all that interest, you need a lead management system, like a CRM. And holding it all together, you need analytics to measure everything. It's one big integrated system. Now, within that whole toolkit, pretty much everything you do falls into two buckets. You've got organic or non-paid, which is all about building trust and value for the long haul, like with SEO. Then you have paid, which is all about speed and precision, like running Facebook or Google ads. So what's the expert advice for Bangladesh? Don't pick one. You want to use paid ads to get predictable leads right now while you build up that organic foundation for sustainable, cheaper growth down the road. Okay, this is the part you've been waiting for. We've covered the why and the what. So now let's get into the how, with a really practical step-by-step plan that's actually designed for the Bangladeshi market. So these first 5 steps, they are all about getting your foundation right. And this is so important. You can't just start running ads. First, know your goal. Are you after leads or sales? Know exactly who you're talking to. Build a fast, mobile-friendly page to send them to. Choose your channels wisely, like Google for people actively searching, Facebook for discovery. And then create content that actually guides them from just being aware to actually buying. The next 4 steps, this is all about execution and growth. Look, don't go all in right away. Start small with a test budget and see what sticks. A huge mistake businesses make is not following up fast enough, so have a system for that. Then you optimize based on real business metrics. I'm not talking about likes, I'm talking about cost per lead. And once you find a winning formula, that's when you hit the gas and scale it up. And now for the pro tips. Following the plan is great, but really winning in Bangladesh means you have to understand the specific local nuances that, frankly, a lot of international brands just miss. So let's look at a few of the big ones. This is everything. Remember those 186 million mobile connections? Well, studies show that for every single second a page takes to load, you can lose up to 20% of your mobile conversions. A slow page isn't just a little annoying, it is literally killing your sales. In this market, speed isn't a nice to have, it is the foundation of everything. It's absolutely non-negotiable. Okay, here's a secret that feels kind of backward for a lot of marketers. We're all trained to get people to fill out forms, but in Bangladesh, that can be a dead end. People live in their messaging apps. A chat on WhatsApp button feels like starting a conversation. It doesn't feel like filling out corporate paperwork. It's faster, it builds instant trust, and it just matches how people actually behave online there. And finally, let's talk about trust. This is especially true if you're a Bangladeshi company trying to sell overseas. You just have to work harder to overcome skepticism. Don't just say you have an ISO certification, show the actual certificate. Don't just say you export. Have a whole section on your site with pictures of your packaging, your logistics, happy clients around the world. These concrete signals, they're essential for winning over a global audience. And we've got to give full credit where it's due. The deep insights and this whole practical framework, it all comes from the work of MD Joinal Abdin and his team over at Trade and Investment Bangladesh. These guys specialize in helping businesses grow, both at home and all over the world. So, we'll leave you with this one question to think about. After seeing the massive opportunity, the tools, the plan, and those local secrets to success, is your business truly ready to compete and win in Bangladesh's digital future? Thanks for joining us.